WWE Night of Champions is in the books. We're going to talk about it, the fallout, things leading up to it, other stories coming out of it, and where they go from there. Welcome to the Wrestling Council. Welcome to the Wrestling Council. I'm your host, Comic Bob. And as always, by my good friend, Hollywood Frank.
What's up, people?
You can catch us here every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, talking about all news and wrestling. You also follow us on social media, scrolling below, and it is in the description as well. And yeah, interesting week. Like I said, Night of Champions is in the books. We are less than 2 weeks out from All In. And yeah, so it's an interesting week in wrestling. Yeah, leg kick, man. Yeah, it was kind of a sad week. You know, if you're a comic book fan like me, the death of Jim Shooter, one of the greatest comic book editors of all time. It's not very many people that have an entire era named after them. So,
yeah,
rest in peace for him. But interesting week in wrestling. There's a lot. There's a lot of news. Oh my God. But leg kick was here first. Hail the Wrestling County. Hail leg kick. Maldacito, what's up, brother? He says, "What?" He said, "Sup, people? What's up, Maldacito?" Appreciate you being here, man. Let me find your video. Good Lord, man.
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
Hello.
What's up?
What's
up?
Be careful going home, Maldacito. Leg kicks jumping ahead of us is the goods. Fatu versus Sokoa. The bad injuries, the ugly. Ric Flair's stomach tipple. Yeah, dude, that was. I'm one. Yeah, because I know like I think I prefer the Broken Bob era. Yeah. Yeah, I think those pictures that Flair posted were from when he had the stomach surgery the first time. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah,
but
sure.
yeah, apparently he's going in for another surgery. They're not sure if it's due to complications from the previous surgery. So hopefully not. Hopefully he's going to be okay, and he'll pull through all right. But just wait a few more minutes. Let some more people suddenly make their way in here. So what did you think overall of Night? Like we were talking about this earlier. What did you think overall of Night of Champions?
You talking to me? Or you talking to the?
Talking to you.
I told you.
I know that. I said that we were talking about it, and I'm want you to tell them on stream.
Mixed bag.
Mm-hmm.
Some good stuff with Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. Good match.
Mm-hmm.
Some sloppy stuff with the street fight with Roxanne Perez. And some where do they go from here with Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross?
Yeah, I think a lot of that depends on what's going to happen with Karrion, if he's going to re-sign or if this is building to something else. But yeah, it was a mixed bag for me. I'd say probably the worst match of all of them was the Queen of the Ring.
Yeah, it's just too much outside interference.
There was a lot. This is an abnormal amount. Leg kick said Kross should have won. Yeah, I agree. The only, like I said, it depends on what's happening with him. There's a lot of speculation that he might be on his way out. If that's the case, then you know that's what you do when you're on your way out. You take the pin. Like I said, I watched the MLW event with Riddle versus Kenta. Great event. MJF jumping Mystico. That was cool, dude. I was kind of excited to see MJF back in MLW. I really want him to reform legacy with Holiday and Hammerstone. But yeah, I agree. Leg kick. If it were me booking, I would have had Cross win. But at the same time, it completely depends on what's going on with them. So we don't know. But all right. So before we get into that, let's go ahead and get into our favorite segment, a little something we call. Not that. The good, the bad, and the ugly. It switched my buttons around again.
Oh, here we go. Blame the buttons.
It's this guy this week. What you got, brother? What's your GBU?
The good, said some good matches.
Yeah,
it was interesting. I thought the King in the Ring with Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, good way to start off the pay-per-view. I think Orton can still go. He's had some health issues with the back and other things like that, and but I think a heel turn is coming for Randy Orton soon. I mean, not Cody Rhodes. I mean, I think if you're going to see a heel turn for Cody, I think, like you've mentioned before, it might be a double switch where he turns heel and Cena turns face in the final matchup with those two guys.
Yeah.
Because I just think I agree. I think Cena's going to be a face again before he hangs it up.
Yeah, it's a weird situation too, though, because if you're gonna do it, I would have done it. I would have pulled the switch, and instead of having Randy go heel right now, I would have had Cody do it now, because we're running out of time with Cena. We've only got a half a year left.
Right.
So I don't think they're gonna pull the trigger on Cody going heel. I don't think we're gonna see that before WrestleMania.
Yeah. Leg kick, Cross should be a feared character. He should, but with how he has been used with his stupid helmet gimmick when he first got there and everything else, this reminds me a lot of Baron Corbin when he was there. They really didn't know what to do with Baron Corbin. I think the Lone Wolf was the best thing they did with Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
And it's just like, everything else just, him and his thing with Roman Reigns, the dog food or stuff like that was dumb.
It was pretty bad.
And then again with Karrion Kross with this gimp outfit with the helmet, like I don't know, I didn't get it, but
dude, that was 100% Vince McMahon led stinker. That's what that was. That was just terrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's what are you gonna do?
Yeah. And continuing on with it, my bad. I just the bad and the ugly are both the women's matches. My bad is Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Gonzalez. I don't think. I mean, I understand now to put in Rhea Ripley versus Io Shirai, Io Shirai in Evolution 2 pay-per-view. So I guess that's the reason why Rhea went over Raquel, but Raquel probably should have gone over to keep to that storyline, and then the whole thing they did with Roxanne Perez is just dumb. Getting shoved in a trash can is like, and that was the start of the stupid outside interference between that and everybody and their brother coming down for the Sol Sikoa.
Yeah, it's getting to the point, man, where there's there's how many more bloodline members are they going to bring in?
It's just you got outside interference in that match. You got outside interference in the CM Punk match, it's just how many guys did you need to have running down to the ring in all these matches? Why? Let the guys wrestle. Like, I understand, but what was it? Sami Zayn and no, I'm sorry, it was Seth Rollins and his crew first. Then it was Sami Zayn and Penta.
Yep.
And then I don't even know who else came out. There's just people everywhere. Like, and the referees and referee bumps and this and that. It's like, how with the Solo and the Jacob Fatu, like how many minutes was that referee over in the corner when all that stuff was going on with Hikaleo or Tale Loa,
Talatonga,
whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know if that's supposed to be his new name or if that was just a slip up by Michael Cole. But yeah, it was. I mean, there were 3 matches, and then out of the I think were there 5 matches or were there 6 matches?
No, there's the King and Queen. There was the
there was
title
6.
match. There was the Sami Zayn match, and then the street fight. So 5 matches.
Well, there was Zayn versus Karrion Kross, Ripley versus Rodriguez.
Yeah, street fight.
Fatu versus Sikoa, Asuka versus
6
Cargill.
matches.
So there were 6 matches. Half the matches had run-ins.
Yeah.
If there's a 7-foot brother, wouldn't he be taller, Tonga? I think that was the slip up. I think Cole accidentally started saying taller Tonga, and then he got tongue tied.
Yeah. But just like, why do you have to have half your matches with outside interference? Yeah, I understand the street fight, no problem. I expect that from a street fight because there's no DQ. But the other matches, like so many bodies everywhere. If you're building up to Survivor Series, War Games, which is what they're going to do again, that's fine. But that's November.
Yeah, and I think
you got SummerSlam between then.
Yeah, I think what's going to happen is, and because of the poster they put up, I think it's going to be OG Bloodline versus New Bloodline. It's dude, because Roman is like, you look at the poster that you just put up. He's front and center, and his head's bigger. He's bigger than everybody.
He's going to go play in Street Fighter now, or whatever.
What do you want me to tell you, dude? I'm telling you, I'm guaranteeing you that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. But it's so if you've got Solo and Jeff Cobb, well, JC Mateo, whatever the frick they call him.
Yeah.
Hikaleo, and now
Tamatonga.
Tamatonga,
and then Tongaloa should be back.
Right. Who's on the side with Jacob Fatu?
Roman, Jacob Fatu, the Usos.
But they haven't even established them. Like,
not yet.
Is right, but
dude, I'm telling you this, and then I bet you $10 because Zilla's in the that new program with WWE, the indie program.
Right.
I guarantee you they're going to bring him in, and it's going to be the 5 of them. It's going to be the 5 of them versus Solo's Bloodline 2.0. That's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not, that's what's coming, baby. So get ready.
All right. And then my ugly would be the Jade Cargill Asuka match. Hey, yo, Big Daddy.
Hey, yo, Big Daddy. What's up, sir?
Hey, yo.
Gotta get the GOC's hey, yo in there.
But the Jade, hey, granddaughter,
nice.
Granddaughter DOC.
Yes, sir. Welcome.
But the Jade Cargill Asuka match, yeah,
it was pretty bad.
The ending was terrible. Like, shit really didn't even really pin him. Just like roll over her. Like Asuka's shoulder was still up, and they tried to hide that crap.
Hi, Mila. Sorry. Go ahead.
Hi, Mila. They Michael Cole says something about Jake Cargill's knee injury in the
Mhm.
match, and then not even 20 seconds later, she was fine, like walking around, no problem.
Yeah. And here's the
Like-
thing: we call out AEW with no selling stuff like this all the time. You got to be fair about it, man. When you're talking, when you're playing up an injury and then suddenly it disappears.
Randy Orton playing up his back injury almost the entire match versus Cody Rhodes.
Yep.
Jade Cargill knee injury. Like seriously, like right after Michael Cole said something, it just miraculously was healed.
Yeah. I agree, Leg Kick. Here's the thing. Like I've said this about Jade Cargill 100 times, and I'll say it again. She has all the potential for a major star in the making. She looks like $1 million. She's very athletic. She looks like $1 million. She's actually pretty good on the stick. It's when she steps into the ring is when she becomes suspect. I put her in the same category that I used to put Moose in. For a long time, that's the way Moose was. He looked like $1 million. He could talk a mile a minute, but the minute he stepped between the ropes, he became suspect because he just didn't have it. Now he improved. Yep. Jade was starting to improve before she left AEW, and then supposedly they kept her off there for a year to retrain her so she'd be better, and she's exactly the way she was before. She cannot run a match. She has to be led through a match. And you look at her, the way she's in there with Asuka. Asuka is one of the best in-ring performers in the women's division. She's one of the best women's wrestlers of all time. And she's having trouble pulling a decent match out of her. Okay. You got to call it like it is, man. She needs to develop a lot.
Yeah. Hello, GOC.
Thank you, Mila. Appreciate it. Hope you have fun.
It's just, but the match was just sloppy. I'm sorry.
It was.
Asuka can only do so much.
Yeah.
Like, but again, and that cover was just awful. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just awful. And now she's got a title shot at SummerSlam.
Yeah. Which, we knew and we knew going in that she was probably going to win this because they're setting the three-way between her and Bianca Belair and Naomi. They're setting it up between the three of them. The problem is Jade she's just not there. Yeah, I agree. And I know a lot of people are against it. They said, no, take her right to the main roster. No, Jade should have been in NXT and she should have been developed in NXT just like everybody else. She wasn't ready and she's still not. And that's just a simple fact of it. So like I said, she looks like $1 million, but that's it.
And to be honest with you, I could be wrong, but I don't think she'll ever be ready.
I get the feeling they are going to make the same mistake with her that they've made with like several people in the past, like Mojo Rawley and guys like people like that. It's all about their appearance. It's all about their presence. And it's not about what they can do in the ring. She's going to be limited to like a few moves and that's it. But the problem is like, which, okay, that's fine. You got to just use her like you would like an old school power wrestler. That's fine. Here's the problem, though. You've got to be able to tell a story in the ring. And if you can't, if you have to be led every time, you're going to have problems.
Yeah.
And that's where she's at.
Yep.
Like Bill Goldberg, like him or hate him, he only had like three or four moves, but he knew how to follow a lead and he knew how to tell a story in the ring. Okay. He learned that part of it. He learned the ring psychology. She has none of that.
I just don't think she has the dedication to the sport like a lot of other people her size should and have. I could be wrong, but I don't think I think she's looking at WWE as a stepping stone to to Hollywood.
Yeah, it's possible.
And she doesn't care. She doesn't have the drive to want to be. She'll never be a Charlotte Flair type wrestler ever.
No,
ever.
Well, and I think the problem is that when she was in AEW, she was very dedicated to becoming a better wrestler and whatnot. As soon as she got the call to go to WWE, though, WWE puts a different psychology into your brain. I think she saw all these people from WWE that were going Hollywood. You know, you've got John Cena, you've got Dave Bautista, now you've got Roman Reigns, and and there will be more. And was it Becky Lynch? She's going to be in a major movie coming up. I can't remember the name of it, but Seth Rollins was going to be in Captain America: The Winter Soldier. You've got this huge Hollywood angle coming out of WWE. And so it's very possible that her priorities changed, So to what?
2. I give her
2
my
years?
prediction. I say she's out of the WWE within the next 2 years.
It's possible. We'll see what happens. You guys heard it first here. Frank says that Jade Cargo will be out of here and in Hollywood in 2 years.
I didn't say Hollywood. I think she'll be released and done with WWE within the next 2 years.
You think that they're just like, we are not going to be able to turn you into anything?
No. I think her wrestling career will be over in 2 years.
Okay. We'll see what happens.
At least WWE. If she decides to go to New Japan or TNA or
she ain't going to New Japan, dude.
I think her WWE career should be released within 2 years.
Yeah, she ain't going to WWE, and she ain't going to New Japan. I don't see her doing anything like that. You don't have Danielson putting the time in and working with her. Yeah, see, and that's the reason why like she was, man. When she was in AEW, when she first showed up, she was greener than goose shit, man. Sorry about the language. But
come on, Mila doesn't want to hear that.
I know that. I'm sorry. I forgot there was a kid watching. I apologize for that. But she was putting in the work, and she was working with one of the best in the business, and she did get better. And then she jumped ship, and they supposedly, we have to retrain her, and she's completely blah, 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 blah. And then she comes out and she's exactly the same.
Yep.
And then I'm like, okay, well, whatever. But we'll see.
But that's my GBU. What do you got, big man?
All right, my GBU. I'm gonna put some good news out here because I think we need it with everything that's going on. Congratulations to Maria Kanellis and Mike Bennett. They are expecting their third child. It's good news. Maria Kanellis, she recently had some health issues, but turned out everything okay. So, yep, congratulations to them. Expecting their third child. Keith Lee did a health update and said that he's been good for a while now, and that he's, when he comes back, is like when everything falls into place, he'll be back. So that's very that's good news to hear for Mr. Lee. I really, really, really want him coming back. She's going to be 7 on August 1st. Oh man, she's a baby. Well, happy pre-birthday, Mila.
Yeah.
But so yeah, good news on that. And then, it's a little unfortunate, but at least we had some good news coming out of Chad Gable. Chad Gable underwent successful shoulder surgery, and he's expected to make a full recovery. Unfortunately, he's on the shelf. Did you watch Raw this week?
Yeah.
So apparently that was. It took me a minute to figure out who that was in the El Grande Americano mask, but it's Ludwig Kaiser. So Ludwig Kaiser basically came out as El Grande Americano. So they're going to continue that whole thing, but apparently they're switching over to somebody else. So, hey man, good on him, man. He gets to be on camera. So earmuffs. Yeah. Yeah. I'll watch myself. So that's my good. My bad. Finn Balor and JD McDonough of Judgment Day win the World Tag Team titles on WWE Raw again. Why?
Why not?
Dude, there are so many other teams that deserve a chance with the belts. There's so many other teams that give them a chance to rise and do something with these friggin' these titles. These titles, the tag team belts right now in WWE mean nothing. They mean nothing. And yeah, Vince was never a big fan of the tag team division, what have you. But at one time, WWE had the most dynamic tag team division in wrestling. Now, tag team wrestling is an afterthought. The tag belts mean, and it's like the main reason why FTR left. And the tag belts mean nothing.
Yep.
And you've got like the New Day's heel turn. They completely wasted it. You had new life breathed into the New Day. You could have done something with them. You did nothing. American Made never held the tag team belts. The New Bloodline, you've got Cobb and Hikuleo. There's somebody you could put the tag team belts on. The Creed brothers, DIY deserves a real run with these belts. They got treated like an afterthought. Imperium, Legado del Fantasma, the Motor City Machine Guns, dude. They made this huge deal out of them signing, and then they've done nothing with them. You know, you got Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. There's a monster tag team for you right there. The Wyatt Six, who have done nothing. You could insert them into the tag team division, have them do something. Why are you putting the belts on this nothing team again? It's stupid. It doesn't make any sense to me.
It is.
And it's nothing against. I like Finn Balor. I mean, JD McChicken Nugget. I could, don't really care. But I like Finn Balor. I've liked Finn Balor since back his New Japan days when he was Prince Devitt, the creator of the Bullet Club. This does nothing for any of them, and it does nothing for the division. So I don't know. So that's a bad for me. And then the ugly is CM Punk's apology. Whoo boy, man. Say what you want about CM Punk, man. That guy knows how to start some crap. So it's basically got the IWC split down the middle as usual.
Yeah.
A lot of people just disgusted with his actions and his, and to be fair, they're holding him to his word. So, at the end of the day, though, the way I feel about it is this: we talked about it when he jumped ship from AEW to WWE. Is he being a hypocrite? Yes. Is it good for business? Yeah, it is. So, it's, if it's a deal breaker for you, fine. It's professional wrestling, guys. I don't know. And then there's a big controversy about they think that the person that asked him for the apology was a plant trying to get out ahead of it, et cetera, et cetera. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. At the end of the day, it's about entertainment, That's their priority. These people are performers. Okay. Like I said, if you take issue with him for the hypocrisy of what he said versus what he is now doing, I totally understand it. I get it. I don't necessarily agree with the things that he says myself. But again, like I said, is he a hypocrite? Yes. Is it doing gangbuster business? Yep. And that's the only thing they care about. So, and when you're trying to build it, when you're trying to build success, that's what it is. That's the idea. If there's already going to be controversy, like Jim Cornette says, lean into it. And that's exactly what they've done. So, and that's kind of where I'm going to leave it because there's really nothing else to say about it. So that's my GBU. All right, let's get into Night of Champions. Let's talk about what they did, what they didn't do, and where we think they're going to go from here.
Yeah.
Malachi said, calming the hype around Motor City Machine Guns was never about pushing them. It was a thumb in the eye to AEW. Yeah, unfortunately, that seems to be the case. I was really hoping that, bringing in one of the best tag teams in professional wrestling at the time would change things. But,
Nope.
And as I said, man, AEW still has the best tag team division in wrestling. They're starting to do a little bit better with them. They've still got a long way to go to get back to where they were a couple of years ago. WWE's got a lot of talent in the tag team division, and they're not doing anything with it, which is unfortunate. But anyway, that's a different story for another time. We could do an entire friggin' show on
Yes, we could.
WWE's tag team division. But all right, let's go ahead and get into Night of Champions in Riyadh.
Riyadh.
So started off,
King of the Ring.
King of the Ring, Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton, which is really weird. I thought that would be like the co-main event, but it was a curtain jerker.
It was.
And it was a really good match. Was it their best match? I don't think so. But it was a very, very solid match. And I think it would have been, like, if I'm going to give it a rating, I'd give it like a 3.5 stars. It would have been better, like you said, without all the interference. And there was a lot of interference. Real quick, Mount said, my problem is, okay, go make your money, but when you want to go take a stand, in no way, you want to have principals stand on them or shut the water. All right, yeah, no, I get it, man. I totally get it. And like I said, like, that's a legitimate feeling to have. So we had what? 6 people run in on this thing?
In which one?
In Cody versus Randy. No, don't
be random in this one.
Not Cody versus Randy. I'm thinking about something else. No.
No.
What we had with this though was we had the heel tease by Randy. He was going to go for the punt, and then he had second thoughts about it, and instead he did the chair thing. Right? He pulled out the chair, acted like he was going to use it, and as the ref was taking the chair away, he pulls the turnbuckle off.
Right.
And the reason why some people are thinking that Cody was going to go heel is because Cody then immediately used the exposed turnbuckle. Like he had no problem taking him and putting him straight into that thing. So I like the psychology of the match. Like I said, I don't think it was the best match that they've ever had together, but I think this was definitely building towards Randy's eventual heel turn. And probably going to get him versus Cody, I would say probably sooner rather than later. So I figure it'll be him versus Cody. I think Randy's going to cost him his match with John. That's what I think is going to happen. Possible. And I think when that happens is when Cena is going to start going face again. I think that's going to be the angle. Could be wrong, but we'll see. I said I thought Randy was going to win this. I think the predictions that we made, if I'm remembering correctly, I thought Randy was going to win this. So I was wrong on that.
Yeah.
But then again, like I'm not mad about it. It was, like I said, it was a good match. I give it like a B. And man, the friggin' fans were into it. They were very, very into it. And like you said, the selling was like the way he sold the injury through the whole match. That's the way you do it.
Yes.
Jay needs to take notes. What do you think of the match?
I agree. I mean, it was back and forth. Could have gone either way as far as the heel turn. The figure 4 Cody locked in there was really good, and it just kept work. And like I said, Randy, and you said Randy kept selling his back injury.
Yeah.
Again, that's textbook pro wrestling right there.
Yeah, this is good wrestling.
That's just a guy who knows what the hell he's doing in the ring, telling a good story. And Randy being on the fence whether he's going to punt, and then he decides to do. That's when he sidesteps it. Repeated Cody Cutters and other finishing moves. The RKO. I mean, there's just a lot of back and forth, and it was good. I mean, it's a good opening match. Especially with some of the other matches we had in the filler in between that in the end, but it was one of the better matches on the cards. The best matches two guys have had? No. But, in the past, it was Randy Orton was the leader of the faction with him and Rhodes and Ted DiBiase Jr.
Yep.
And now the student has become the master and bested his teacher. So really good, really good.
Yeah, good storytelling in the match, and it was a good solid match. Next up was the Riyadh Boulevard Street Fight: Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez. Now, obviously, this was meant to be Liv Morgan,
correct? But she's out for injury for a while, so
yep. I don't know why we're still doing Rhea versus Liv Morgan. We've been doing that for like a year now.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like maybe they could have used this as an opportunity to stick somebody else into this. And obviously they're kind of using this as well to kind of set up her versus, what's her name? Roxanne Perez, which is just her satellite and Judgment Day again, which is like, okay, well, whatever.
Roxanne Perez, a new women's tag team champion, along with Raquel.
Yep. Along with Raquel. Oh God, man, I hope nothing bad happens.
It will.
What? Don't say that, dude. Man, don't.
The women's tag titles are cursed.
I know. It seems like everybody that holds them, something bad happens, but I'm just hoping to God that that's not the case here. It was an okay match. The finish was janky. Again, like you had this situation where she's trying to do the riptide off the table. Didn't look safe at all. And like I said, I've said it before and I say it again. If you can't do the move safely, then don't do it.
Yeah. And you mentioned before, anybody bitching about referees and AEW doing stuff, holding tables and doing this and doing that.
Yep.
Same thing happened at that. Referee was holding the table.
Yeah. Yeah, because I know, like what was it last year? I think people were melting down about the ref holding the ladder, and I'm like, okay, well, it's like again, like I said, when it happens in one place, you call it out. If it happens the other one, you got to do the same thing. So, yeah, and if, like I said, that him holding and here's the thing, I would rather the ref hold the ladder or hold the table to make sure that somebody can do something safely without them getting hurt. But at the same time, it doesn't look good. It pulls you out of it. And if you can't do it safely, then don't do it.
Yeah.
So that spot didn't need to be there.
No.
Just like the one with the ladder. So how'd the match end? I needed a nap. Rhea won, and she's going on to challenge Io at Evolution.
Yeah.
Evolution 2. Which was an issue that I had with the freaking program this week, because all last week she's talking about how she's looked up to Asuka. Asuka's her perfect opponent, blah, blah, blah. They set all this stuff up with her and Asuka. And instead of picking Asuka, they pick Rhea.
No, well, correction, though. You said she's going on to challenge Io Shirai. Io told
her out. Yes.
Called Ripley out and
That's what I'm saying.
wanted to. You said Rhea
challenged. No, I'm saying she's going on to challenge her. But it was
Io
who called her out. Yeah, and it was like, that doesn't make any sense. Storyline wise, you just had this whole thing where you're talking about how Asuka is your perfect opponent. You looked up blah 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 blah. You're playing up her versus Asuka. And then you're just sticking Rhea into it again, which is like, whatever, man. So this guy is actually going to do something. Yeah, dude, like I said, don't get me started on this.
I had. Don't get me wrong. I have nothing against Rhea Ripley, but her being inserted all the time in title matches is getting to be like when Charlotte did that a couple years ago, and I got tired of seeing Charlotte all the time.
Yeah.
There's other wrestlers in the in the Federation besides Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, and and again, is nothing against Rhea Ripley. I think Rhea Ripley is one of, if she's not the most over women's wrestler, she's one of the most over women's wrestlers. She's extremely good. She doesn't need to be inserted into everything. You've got, like you said, WWE has got a crop of really talented women, including a couple new ones. How about you start building some of them up instead of inserting the same people over and over? Rhea doesn't need to be the champion again.
Well, they did put the U.S. title on Julia, which is good.
Yes,
to see.
I understand why people are upset with the way it happened, because Chelsea Green never really got a chance. But putting that belt on Julia, giving her a singles title right now, that's going to help. That's definitely that's the way you build a new star. Yeah. You put a mid-card singles title on them, and you build them up, just like you did with look what you did with Braun Breaker, man. That guy's this close to breaking into the world title scene.
Oh, he will by the end of the year.
Oh yeah, dude. If he's not a world champion by next year, something's wrong. But yeah, and so it was a decent match. It was okay. Like I give it like a low B. The finisher really was janky though.
Yeah.
But next up, Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. This was a really good match that didn't make any damn sense and literally didn't do anything for either guy. The wrestling was good. Karrion Kross definitely shut up all the people that were saying he doesn't take back bumps. Did you see that?
Uh-huh.
All week. That's why he's not getting a push. He doesn't take back bumps. He doesn't take back bumps. And then literally this match was nothing but him taking back bumps.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's not what it is. Storyline wise, like I said, this whole thing kind of opens up questions about what's going to happen next. now the Cito. Rhea Hogan. Dude, it's not quite that bad. It's not that bad. It's not great, but it's not that bad. I like Rhea Ripley. But yeah, like I understand why Sami Zayn won. It's kind of his home turf. Him being from Syria. But or of Syrian descent. This does nothing for either guy though. A win here for Sammy doesn't really propel him anywhere. Because like, where is he? Like, what's this propelling him towards?
Nothing.
A win for Karrion Kross though, especially if he came in this and he had like a dominant performance, that would really go a long way towards establishing this dude as a legit threat. And his promo work's been fantastic. So this gives off so many odd signals. And it didn't help that during I don't know if you caught this or not, during the match, Michael Cole called Cross's offense, called it plotting. Said he was plotting. He said he was just plodding along. And then later on, he tried to clarify. He was like, "No, I didn't mean like a negative thing, but it's like, how can you interpret plotting as being good?"
Yeah,
does he mean that he was being relentless or meticulous? Like something like you didn't use a very good analogy for it if you were trying to say something positive. So I don't know, man. Do you think they're doing this because he's just leaving, or? Because I don't see how this does anything good for either guy.
I honestly think it would have been better to put Karrion Kross over, but
yeah.
I don't know. I think if not when his contract, maybe before his contract is over, but they whatever when his contract is over, if not before then, Karrion Kross is done with WWE,
Yeah.
which is a shame. I mean, he's a good wrestler.
Yeah.
But
He's a really good promo too.
Not been using him the way he should be in the ring.
No, like he's never been used to the extent that they used him in NXT.
Right.
And like, I guess if the idea was Sammy winning to prove that he was wrong about him, only for them to have Cross ramp up his pursuit of him, trying to pull him to the dark side or whatever.
Right.
Okay, I guess, but otherwise, this is so counterproductive, and it just doesn't it kills any momentum that Cross was building. So I give it a C for the in-ring work, but storyline wise, it was not great. Then Sam. So that one was that. Then the United States Championship match: Jacob Fatu versus Solo Sikoa. So I thought this was a good match, and then the interference happened, and which I fully expected. I did not expect Hikuleo. I fully expected.
I did.
Jeff Cobb. I didn't expect Hikuleo. I expected Jeff Cobb, and I expected Tongaloa. I expected the two of them. I didn't expect Hikuleo because, dude, they have been sitting on him for so long. And we barely saw him in NXT.
Yeah.
Barely saw him in NXT. The son took out my road chocolate. Be careful, Malazito. Don't worry about eating, man. Just keep your eyes on the road, dude. Be careful, brother. The match itself was pretty good. I mean, Jacob Fatu's friggin' awesome, man. Like I said, I think he's the most talented member in that family. I do think that this did help Solo get over as a heel again and give him a little bit of that aura back. I still don't think he's just on the same level as the rest of the members of that family.
No.
Michael Cole struggling to say Hikuleo's name or completely butchering whatever his new name was or what have you. That was kind of cringy, and it was like, okay, man. Yeah, I think you dropped the ball on that. I don't know if that's if he's supposed to have a new name or if he's going to go by Hikuleo. Probably not. He'll probably get a new name.
Yeah, probably.
But I think all of this is to set up the war games between the OG bloodline and the new bloodline. Whether you like it or not, that's what's coming.
Yep.
So, it's an okay match. I gave it like a C+. C+, like 3 stars. Yeah, 2.5, 3 stars. It was all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was kind of like, okay. And I think this 100% frees up Jacob Fatu to go start looking maybe at the title. I think he's definitely oh my God. I don't know, man. Short of Leo. God. Okay.
Short of Leo and Tiny Tonga.
Yeah. So Queen of the Ring final, Asuka versus Jade Cargill. This was no craps. This was not great. This match was not pretty from the jump, man. They had a much better match a year ago when they were fighting for the women's tag team titles. But then again, Cargill was in there with somebody else. And she was then the 3 other people were able to carry her. So they were definitely not on the same page. Jade Cargill was like just a step behind Asuka. She could not keep pace with Asuka. Asuka was actually slowing her offense down quite a bit. And Jade still couldn't keep pace with her. The outcome is exactly what we expected it to be. This was the short. I think this match was only 8 minutes,
Probably,
and that was with the entrances.
uh,
So it wasn't a very long match. We knew Jade was going to win because they are setting up the three-way between her and Naomi and Bianca, and we knew that was coming. We knew it was coming. Is that going to happen? Where is that going to happen? We don't know.
who knows?
But we knew that. I just feel like, and there's a lot of people that are kind of talking about this, and I've said this before. I feel like Asuka oftentimes gets sacrificed for like, and Asuka was on the shelf for over a year. Oh yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, the thing about Asuka, like, yeah, she was on the shelf for a year and she came back. When she comes, Asuka, whenever she makes these returns after injury or time off, or whatever, dude, she's got no ring rust. When she comes back, she makes sure she's ready. And again, one of the best in-ring performers in women's wrestling, period. And it's unfortunate, but a lot of times the best people get sacrificed. And I mean, look what happened. She got fed to friggin' Charlotte 3 times.
Yeah.
So I feel like as many accolades as Asuka's had, I do feel like that there are at times she doesn't get the respect that she deserves, and she gets sacrificed to the person that they're trying to build up into a hot hand. But that's the business. It happens like that. Like I said, we all expected Jade to win. We know the 3-way's coming, and this is exactly what we thought was going to happen. So no surprises. The match itself was not great. Jade needs a lot of work. But yeah, I mean, that's about all you can really say about this match is that it was there. And it came out exactly what we expected. What do you think?
And the cover was terrible.
Yeah, it was. Oh God, dude, it was so. How do you screw up a cover coming off your own finisher?
Who knows?
That was just janky. That was ugly, man. That was a dog leg of a friggin'. That's like my dad's. Like that was a sowsier of a friggin' finish, man.
Yeah, awful. Just awful.
Yep. I really wish, and I really wish Asuka would kind of go back to her Empress of Tomorrow gimmick, and if she's gonna finish up her career soon, then or in her in-ring career, then that'd be good. All right, Undisputed World Championship match: CM Punk versus John Cena.
And I would have loved if Asuka got back up and just spit mist in Jay Cargill's face.
Oh yeah, just out of spite.
Yeah,
it would have been nice.
But the main event,
it was a good match. Both guys have kind of slowed down a step, but they're both still really good they're both still very, very good at telling a story in the ring. They've got great chemistry together. They know each other really, really well. The crowd was super, super into this too. And I expected Seth Rollins to make an appearance. I did not expect the level of run-ins to happen like they did. I thought Seth would just kind of like make his presence known, and then Cena would use that as a way to take out Punk, or vice versa, what have you. But no, we got a run-in from Seth Rollins and his crew. We got Sami Zayn and Penta, which just created like absolute chaos. I don't know how. I mean, and then I do like how they kind of like set it up so that could happen. Is when you had Little Nate, James Robinson, Little Nate coming down, and he just got
speared. He
got friggin' destroyed, man. So
Cena just laid his ass out.
At least they took the ref out when they pulled all this crap. So it was like, all right, good deal, man. Let's make something make sense instead of the ref being like, huh? What's happening? I can't turn my neck around the other way for some reason. But yeah, as Maldicia said, Jada has all the tools. I feel she needs a different mindset. Yeah, we were talking about that, man. 100%. But yeah, and so I think they told a really good story in the ring. The run-in was just like, it was like one after the other, and I was like, oh my God, man. I do like that Rollins at one point you thought maybe they were gonna like reconcile. But
Talking about Cena and Punk.
yeah.
Yep.
I like the tease of that. I like that they're kind of teasing that Cena kind of regrets what he did. You know what I mean? Which is why I think, like we said, by the end of his run, he's gonna be a face again.
Yeah, he wanted to kick Punk in the balls like he did.
Yeah,
Rose.
but then yeah. R.I.P. Little Nate's bumping like he's still in his 20s. Dude, he got friggin' destroyed, man. Like, I haven't seen someone get laid out like that since Breaker friggin' laid out that guy I Show Speed. Oh my God, dude. Like, this was not quite as bad as that, but it was pretty. He took a hard bump, man. So all the props to James Robinson, man. He friggin' little Nate took a hard one, bro. What are you gonna say?
I don't know. I'd rather take what Charles Robinson took over what I Show Speed took from.
Oh yeah, dude.
Braun Breaker.
As I said this was the hardest bump I've seen. But since that, I haven't seen a bump that hard in a long time, man. What Braun Breaker did, and dude, the crowd loved it, man. When Braun Breaker broke him and literally bent him in half, dude, he killed these. He's like, that was, you know what that was a. So you want to be a wrestler, huh, kid?
Yeah, want to step in this ring, huh? I'll learn you.
Breaker went, all right, I'm going to show you. I'm going to teach you the Steiner way, man.
The only good thing for I Show Speed is that it was Braun Breaker and not Bob Holly.
Oh God, dude. Bob Holly would have legit killed the guy.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't give a crap what anybody says, man. That what he did to that guy in Tough Enough, man. Screw Bob Holly. That guy was a piece of crap, man. I did think it was kind of cool. They keep teasing that AJ Lee's going to come back since Punk is back.
She ain't coming back.
I don't think so either. Punk broke out the octopus. I thought that was kind of cool. Yeah, dude, I'd be surprised if the way Cena laid out James Robinson, if that doesn't become like the most viewed meme thing in years, like for the rest of the year. I don't know what's gonna happen, but yeah, overall, I'd say it was a good 3.5 star match. Not the best, not the greatest that they've ever had, but did a really good job of telling the story and obviously set things up between Punk and Rollins in the future. So
Rollins screwed over Punk again.
Yep. And we'll see where that goes. But overall, I would say I'd give the show like a B minus.
Yeah,
like a low B. Yeah, like it was like a 3-star. It was like a 3-star pay-per-view. It was a decent pay-per-view. Like I said, the Queen of the Ring match was absolutely terrible. The finish on the other women's match was bad. The run-ins got to be a little bit much, but yeah, it was an okay show. And obviously, and they really did. This show was designed to set things up going forward. So I'm not surprised that we didn't have a whole lot of title changes or anything like that. So,
yeah. There wasn't any titles on the line.
No, the U.S. title.
Oh, that's right. U.S. title. One title.
Yeah, one title got changed, and
Yeah.
technically the world title was up too, but we
Oh,
knew
yeah,
that.
yeah.
We knew they weren't going to
Yeah,
freaking.
they're not taking off Cena.
No, not to the end of the year.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's our impression of. That's what we thought about Night of Champions.
Yeah, and in 10 days we'll be live reacting to. 11 days we'll be live reacting to All In Texas.
Yep, we will be giving you our. We'll be watching it live, and you guys are gonna come out, hang out with us, watch it with us, give us your impressions.
Yeah.
Should be a good show. AEW does good pay-per-views.
They do.
You can
long.
Oh God.
Long.
So there's a rumor that supposedly they're going to start trimming them down a little bit. I'll believe it when I see it though, because Tony Khan likes putting as many people on those pay-per-views as he possibly can. So, and even if like the main pay-per-view is only like we're going to trim the main pay-per-view is going to trim down to 3.5 hours instead of 4.5 hours. We're just going to make the 0 hour into the 0.2 hours. They'll put like an hour and a half on ahead of it. So,
yeah.
But anyway, yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be a good match, and come out, hang out with us, guys, and we'll make our predictions for it on the next week before the show, and so I think that's it. Appreciate everyone who was here. Malasito, Big Daddy,
leg kick,
Mila, appreciate you being here. Happy
Mila.
birthday, kiddo. And everybody else that was watching and was lurking, appreciate you guys.
Thanks,
hit
Mila.
like, subscribe, and we will see you next week. Bye.